This telecast is authorized under rights granted to Home Sports Entertainment and is intended solely for the non-commercial use of our viewing audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of Home Sports Entertainment is prohibited. The announcers for this telecast are selected and employed by Home Sports Entertainment.
And that means if you don't get Jack Stanfield's permission, you're a bad guy. You're in violation.
He'll hip check.
That's right.
3-0. Texas leads. They've got the ball. Stafford is brought down from behind the line of scrimmage by that man, David Spradlin. He has had quite a first half of play in the first 16 minutes.
Spradlin's been all over the place today, starting in place of Caldwell. Kid has got excellent quickness and heart. He reads, comes right in there, and makes the leg tackle.
And Mitchell Benson got through to put a little pressure on. That helped open it up to Spradlin. It is second down, loss of 3, second down and 13. Wide receiver at the bottom of the screen is Everett Gay. Man in the slot, single running back. Passing formation, the ball is slipped out into the corner and complete on the far side. That was Johnson again, and he picked up maybe 5 altogether as he's run out of bounds on the far side of the field. Johnson is out of Pilot Point, 219-pound senior. One thing about Texas, and this is, of course, an indication of the depth they normally have. You look at their roster, and you'll see a lot of seniors with either no letters or only one. And that's because there's always been enough depth at Texas that you don't play until you're a junior or a senior. And that's why perhaps a lot of people misread this team at the beginning of the season. They looked at the numbers in the wrong way as far as who was coming back. They give inside to Hunter. Hunter struggles forward and will be stopped short of the first down by a couple. Mitchell Benson got him around the ankles and then got some help. Also helping out on that play was Philanda Newton coming up from the safety spot, holding them short of the first down. It'll be a 4th down and 3 or a long 2, and we'll see the kicking unit led by punter John Telchik, who is averaging 44 a kick, 43.2 his career average through last year, and he's upped it a little bit this year.
I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to go for the block on us. Telchik is a 3-step kicker. He takes his time getting that ball off. It's the only rep on him.
No, they didn't this time. You can't allow too many more 78-yarders. This one won't be, but it may. No, what a good bounce it took for Texas, and it is killed at about the 14-yard line. And that was an outstanding kick and a great coverage by McCray, and it will be first down for TCU. Again, not in good field position, trailing 3-0. Well, they'll be putting the ball in play on their own 13. One thing I think Jim Wacker has to be happy with so far, Barry, is they have protected the football. The only mistake made, really, was by Metcalf, and that was on the Texas side when he couldn't handle a punt, but it didn't really hurt Texas, as it turned out. TCU has played the game conservatively, but they have not made the mistake that's opened any doors.
Well, their defense has played the type of smash-mouth defense that Wacker loves to talk about in his tremendously entertaining coaches show, as Rasco drives the left side and goes nowhere.
Take the handoff to the first man through, kept it, and was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that was it. Peavy and Bronner in on that tackle. It'll be a second down, and we'll stay with 10, even though he may have gained a half yard.
You know, after the debacle last week at Texas Tech, Wacker got on his coach's show, and he opened it saying, hey, blame me. Don't blame the players. They gave it everything they had. I didn't do the job. You can't help but love a guy like that.
Well, they ran into a hot quarterback. That contributed to their downfall, certainly, but they did only score 7 points themselves, and so that's was sort of depressing as Rasco is buried back at about the 12-yard line. James McKinney coming through. This is a game for defensive left ends because McKinney on the Texas side has been prominent.
Well, McKinney is so quick. Looks like he's got a little bit of a gut on him there. But he's got excellent quickness coming off the ball. Uses his hands very well to defeat the blocker. Rasco set, and it's Sack City. Just grabs the top of that jersey in the pad and brings him down.
Those were his stomach pads, Barry. You got that wrong. He had his stomach pads on.
I got you.
Third down and 15. Rasco, a little swing to the left. He's got Davis. Davis gets back to the line of scrimmage, tries to point out more, and has the first down. Nice running by Davis. Derek Jeffries finally brought him down.
That's a very dangerous play. Ty Allard slipped and fell. That's why the play worked. But you're going across the seam when he throws that ball out there. Very easy to intercept. Looks right, goes left. Where's Allard? See, Ty fell down. Now he gets up and chases in pursuit. But that's a very dangerous type pass to throw there.
17-yard gain, first down. And we'll have a flag here. That appeared certainly that Texas was offside. Chalmer Adams. Chalmer did not actually draw the start on the first series of downs today, but he's been back in there. He began the year as the only experienced defensive tackle. But again, that's sort of misleading, as we said before, because there were other players on this unit.
Defense offside, still first down. I'll tell you, Fred Akers has got a couple of young kids you're going to hear from for years, and Finn and Hennichek, and in big Ed Cunningham, the 6'8", 275-pounder.
First and 5.
It's first and 5. What a good position for an offensive team to be in. Rasko going to try to use it. He's got a man. It's complete to Gerard Delaney at the 32-yard line. Stop. That pass was right in the perfect location.
Well, Delaney's the kid from the Houston's Madison High School. He lacked confidence at the beginning of the year, but he's got deceptive speed. And watch how he accelerates to the ball. They freeze the defense just a little bit. Rasko puts that ball up there, and he just glides behind double coverage for a huge gain.
37-yard gain on that play. First and 10, the ball on the 33. They give in to Jeffrey, and Jeffrey gets 10 more. Across to about the 23-yard line. Mark Petkovich, the backup middle linebacker, making the stop. Well, this TCU football team has not scored yet in this game, but they already look like a much different team than we saw last week.
Well, Davis is a darter, the way he just explodes right there through that. He's the typical U of H type back that we've seen. You give him a little bit of a crease, and boom, he can hit it up there and turn.
The numbers on the board show you that TCU's been able to move the football. First down. Again, Jeffrey, he'll struggle forward to about the 19-yard line. A pickup of 4 more off left tackle.
You know, the season started with Jeffrey, who was the Southwest Conference Newcomer of the Year last year, having all these expectations and the great job he and Davis would do. Then Kenneth Davis goes out, all of a sudden he's the main man. And there's no question that he missed Davis, and realized by about the time the Arkansas game rolled around, hey, I got to be the main man. I got to do it myself.
All right, it's a second down and 7. Float pass complete to Davis, but he's covered. He drops the football. Did he drop it? Did he have possession? The officials say that he did, and he dropped it. It's a fumble, and the turnover goes to Texas.
Wacker is sitting there yelling at the officials, hey, wait a minute.
I don't know if they've made the decision on this yet. They may not have made the decision on this yet. I think Texas's offensive unit did, but
they're not the ones that count.
No, it's the people in the stripes, and they're going to talk it over. Well, if it does work against TCU, that's... Oh, look at Wacker. He is upset. Here it is. Now, what do you think? Does he have control of this football?
He's got it there. He's got the possession. He turns.
He did.
He has it. Good call. Well, then they just stripped him of the football. Petrovic strips him with a hand, and TCU loses the ball.
Jim Wacker was irate. The replay seemed to indicate that he had the football. The only caution I always have on replays is the fact that when they're slowed down, it gets your sense of timing off a little bit, but he did appear to have that
possession
football.
And he turned upfield with it.
First down. Give inside to the fullback Johnson, and boy, you talk about smash-mouth defensive football. Tech seems to be extremely fired up after that turnover. Kent Trammell led the way, but he had a lot of help.
Trammell, an emotional football player, was not supposed to play. He's been having a cartilage that's been locking on his knee, but he gutted it up and just out for today's ball game. And all he's got to do is go head up over Gene Chilton.
Second down at 8. 2 men wide on the bottom of the screen, out of the I formation. Fake give, roll left, little dump pass complete. That's going to be a big gainer. That's Tim McCray, and McCray gets down across midfield. Ricky Rugeley came up to make the stop. Perfect timing, perfect execution.
McCray, Houston Smiley High School, Greg, gets the start because William Harris has got that injury to his arm. They block him straight up, and then he slides underneath the coverage, loses the linebacker, no one home at all, protects the football well, and has the first down.
22-yard pass. The key play on that was the block that slowed down the right defensive end, Floyd Terrell. He might have had a shot at the quarterback. He wasn't knocked off the play, but he was slowed down just enough. 1st and 10. A slip by Hunter, and he'll be stopped right at the vicinity of the line of scrimmage at midfield. Mitchell Benson was there, but actually Hunter knocked himself down. 8 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the first half. 3-0 Texas. Longhorns have the ball at midfield. It'll be 2nd and 10.
I keep waiting for Texas to put the ball in the air to number 19, Everett Gay, the former basketball star at Houston Wheatley High School. Number 19 flanked at the top of the screen.
He is a great leaper, as you might imagine, after being a basketball star. They're going to go to the short side of the field. Hunter, there's a flag down. Hunter got some running room. He shot the first down, but it may be coming back. We will see. The flag was thrown at about the line of scrimmage. Floyd Terrell on the stop. And judging by the way that Dixon Holman is trying to calm down TCU, it appears that it's going to go the other way.
You can tell us how revved up TCU is. Every single play they're playing like they got a Cotton Bowl berth at stake and they're trying to protect some turf. You would not think this is a football team. Well, there's the reason why. Look at how emotional Wacker is. How do you not play charge up when you got a guy like him as your head coach?
Well, there were 2 penalties, as you saw, 1 on each. And that's going to set us back and do the play all over again. Well, or is it? Let's see. I thought that's what his signal was. We'll get the explanation here.
As holding off, we will now enforce dead ball personal foul against TCU.
Well, that explained it very well. The second penalty was after the play, so that's why they marked them off both.
So Dixon Holman is sort of like Jim Tunney of the NFL. When he works the football game, you know he is in total control.
Defense, still 2nd down.
Actually, Texas ends up gaining 5 on the play or losing 5, depending on how you look at it, because they ran the ball out 5 more yards. But they're 5 yards further out from where they were at the original line of scrimmage. 2 wide receivers at the top of the screen as fairly long count by Stafford. The give goes to Hunter. Hunter is short of the first down. It'll be a 3rd down and about a yard. He went right up the middle and got 4 of those 5 he needed.
Greg, as we said at the start of the ball game, one of the real fears that you have with a young, aggressive, enthusiastic football team defensively like TCU has, they get so overeager they set themselves up and they're easy to trap. We'll see if Texas's line coach, Leon Manley, makes some adjustments there.
3rd down and 1. Everyone's going to be tight now. The tight power type formation. Double tight end. And a first down, maybe. Just barely for Darren Norris. He needed a long one, and he looks like he got it. Kevin Dean on the stop. They may have to measure. Depends on where the ball is spotted. I think he got it. Oh, no, he did not. Not where they spotted the ball, he didn't get it. I thought he went farther than that, Barry. I thought he got the ball over the 40-yard line, but they've got it spotted right smack dab on the 40. Let's see if we can tell on this low shot.
Excellent blocking there by Ergel.
Well, that one line was the 40, but we'll sort it out, and we'll be back. So you stay with us. 6:23 to go in the first half. Texas 3, TCU nothing on Home Sports Entertainment.
seems like everybody wants to be a star these days. On the field, with the girls, whatever. Take it from me. Drugs don't make anyone a star. They don't get you the touchdowns or the girls. They just get you in a lot of trouble. You want to be a star? You want to go to college and play a little ball or play the piano? Drugs are just going to get in your way. Look for your fun somewhere else. Make your name through something positive, and it'll be a name they'll want to remember.
The preceding message provided by the NCAA.
Fred Akers was having a few words with the officials for a moment. I think probably having something to do with the spot of that ball. It's now 4th down.
And this comes under the category of no-brainer. You go for it. Do not pass go.
Well,
Texas, a football team that can control its own destiny. They can claim a share of the conference crown and the Cotton Bowl if they beat TCU, Baylor, and they win at A&M on Turkey Day. Those are a couple of nice hits.
Stafford again to keep, and that's going to be close.
I don't think he got it.
Close. I don't know either, Barry. I'll tell you, if they spotted the last one where they did, then he didn't make it on this one either. Really, again, it depends on the spot.
You see how the staff has got to hold Wacker back? How intense and enthusiastic is that man? They'll pull the chains out.
Ooh, that's close. If the orange marker on the far side is centered as it's supposed to, that is going to be within an inch or two.
The Ex-Student Association is sponsoring charter buses.
Well, as they say, the eye in the sky, it don't lie, so we'll take our camera from up on top. They'll stretch the chains, they'll put it down, and the T-Shapers get some light.
So it's 1st down for Texas. Fred Akers conferring with his son, of course, but Brett Stafford, the regular quarterback.
On scrimmage, the 39-yard line.
Stafford is so much more poised and confident right now than he was the early part of the season. It's not even funny. Far more instinctive the way he's running the ball club.
Stafford rolls right. His intended receiver is Hayes, and it's underthrown. Incomplete. It'll be a 2nd down. Brooks was in the vicinity, but once again, it mainly was just missed connections.
Good pattern, though, run by Hayes. He runs the post, and he breaks it back out to the sideline.
Hayes, a 2-year Letterman senior out of San Antonio South San, came here as a walk-on. 2nd down and 10. Stafford again looking for the signs from the sideline. He has got Hayes in motion now. Single running back. 3 receivers in the pattern. Hayes runs in the same general vicinity, and the pass is incomplete. Now that's interesting, Barry, because actually Hayes might have had a better shot at that ball than McCray, who actually tried to take it. He had two receivers in the pattern. Hayes was about 5 yards behind him. McCray had to jump to get to it, and Hayes had the defender behind him. I don't know if you can see it on this shot.
He may have gotten the wind knocked down. Good block there. The lower part of your screen by Newton on by Hunter on Littles. And Philander Newton goes over the top, wrestles him down.
There you saw Hayes. Hayes actually was more open, but he was a little bit further back. Well, again, McCray down for a moment. When you land on your head, it will shake you up a bit.
Each order must include $2 for postage and handling. Tickets can be ordered by...
And that's an interesting proposition because William Harris has had the swelling in his right hand. They feared he broke it last week.
Ticket office is $10.
We'll see if they put Harris in for a player or go with another wideout.
Well, I thought there for a minute he was heading for the huddle, and if he was going without his helmet, and that would have been a clue to me that he should go out of the game.
Brad Lucky, the sophomore tight end from Garland, 6'4", 214 in the ball game.
3rd down and 10, a ball on the 39. Stafford's going to swing it back out to Hunter. He's got a wide open left sideline. Cuts inside of the 30, the 25, the 20. What a beast of running by Hunter as he's run down at about the 16. Gets the 1st down. Tony Brooks finally got to him.
Fred Akers told me he has not had anyone to compare him to in years of this type of a runner with a slashing ability. A very heady runner. Watch the block here by Chilton. He leads out. They set the screen up. Now they'll come back here. Chilton will swing his man around. Clear out the side. Now it's off to the races. Great move there, and acceleration makes him miss once and twice, and Brooks brings him down.
25-yard pickup on that little short pass play. Hunter now comes out for a rest. Stafford, 78 yards on 5 completions. Edwin Simmons is into the lineup. Lined up at the tailback spot. He'll take the ball on the first carry, and he mirrors. He fumbles the football, and it's picked up by TCU. No, Texas touchdown. TCU had the ball in its grasp and picked up in the end zone by Mr. Russell Hayes.
Right. Your man Hayes, who you've been calling for in a couple of pass patterns, comes up big. Edwin Simmons has got the rap of being a fumbler. He runs up high. They hit him, the ball pops out, and the opportunistic Russell Hayes comes up with a touchdown.
Now look, when you see this, Barry, TCU had this football.
No question they did. Good pop there by Philanda Newton.
Right there, and it popped right away. And Hayes recovers for the touchdown. Here's Ward's extra point. He got it.
You know, Wacker could put together a highlight film of screwy things that went wrong during my 1985 TCU Horned Frog campaign, and that one's got to go there. Almost like the Metcalf situation where January pushed the TCU defender out of the way who was going for the touchdown. Last week, 3 deflections out of their hands. Simmons there, awfully strong, just runs through him, protected the ball well. That was the funny part about it. Normally, Edwin has had problems getting the handoff, but that was not the case. He just ran right up the gut, had a great run going, and Philanda Newton puts on a major league pop. Watch number 35 come up here and jar Simmons. And Simmons weighs 235 pounds, breaks arm tackle after arm tackle, and a huge knock by number 35, Philanda Newton.
TCU's Lewis, defensive tackle, really just about had that football, but couldn't hold on. So it all results in a touchdown to Hayes, and now it's a 10-0 Texas lead with 5:06 remaining in the first half.
That drive started on the Texas 26-yard line. The key play when they picked it up on 4th and inches.
All right, we're set for the kickoff. That went 10 plays, 74 yards, 4 minutes and 27 seconds. Hayes recovering the Simmons fumble after a 15-yard run, which he will be credited with. And a kickoff is coming down. Taken on about the 3-yard line by Stanley Petrie. Petrie fights his way up to about the 20, and that's where TCU will put the ball in play.
All right, very important right here that TCU takes good care of the football. The second quarter has always been a disaster-type quarter for the Horned Frogs. Wacker's trying to tell David Rasco, look, son, protect the football. Personally, I would like to see their passing game do something more than rolling to the right, suckering Texas in and throwing off, because they do it one more time. Ty Allen's not going to fall down. He's going to intercept one.
Talk about disaster quarter, to say the least. The Horned Frogs have been outscored 120-21 in the second quarters this year. As Jeffrey takes the handoff and gets about 4, Rocky Reed, the senior lineman, making the stop.
What you don't want to do right now, Greg, with 4:50 and change counting down, have a 1-2-3 situation, kick the ball, give Texas good field position, and then let him go in for another score. If you go in at 10-zip, Wacker says, hey, we got him right when we want him. We're the underdog. We're supposed to be down. We're playing excellent smash mouth football.
2nd down and 7. Rasco cannot elude all of the rush. Ty Allard, the outstanding linebacker.
You want to know why I say this kid is the Jack Ham of semi-pro football?
That was his 10th quarterback sack this year, which leads Texas.
Just tremendous speed and quickness. He is so hard to block. One, because he's so fast, and number 2, great hand strength, keeps people off his body. The irony of it, his dad was a great football player at Southwest Texas, was an assistant coach, had his knees all torn up, and he's the athletic director in the Spring Branch school system.
3rd down and 10. Rasco, little swing pass. Out it comes to Davis, and boy, he doesn't swing very far, does he? Boom! Chris Doulabin, linebacker.
Well, we talked about the adjustments that the Texas defense makes. They made one right there as we have an injury. Is that W.C. Nix down?
It may be. 69, yes. That is W.C. Nix. Boy, he's a very valuable player.
He's the heart and soul of their offensive line. They can ill afford to lose him. They've been playing Simeon at the center spot, moving Nix over.
By the way, speaking of injuries, we have an injury report on McCray, who went down earlier. They're checking his collarbone and shoulder. That's the vicinity of where he was hurt. Nix may have just, I don't know.
Are still available.
Had the wind knocked out, perhaps?
Coach Bob Wetlick's Longhorns take on a challenging home schedule that includes Oral Roberts.
We got a lot coming up on Home Sports Entertainment. Of course, upcoming NBA basketball telecast. Live NBA action next week on HSE. The Dallas-Fort Worth viewers will see the Mavericks Tuesday versus the Phoenix Suns. Friday versus the Indiana Pacers. That's Wayman Tisdale. Houston viewers will see the Rockets Wednesday versus the Indiana Pacers at Wayman Tisdale. Of course, the Rockets live from the Summit. The Mavericks live from Reunion Arena. Each game at 7:30. Preceded at 7 o'clock by Sports Talk exclusively on HSE. And, of course, don't forget Sports Talk is seen in both markets, whether or not the particular basketball game is able to go into that market or not. So Sports Talk will be on prior to all of those dates. And the games, of course, are restricted to their particular markets, or 75-mile radiuses thereof. NBA rules. Now, let's see, it's our second stretcher of the day.
Yeah, it's an interesting contraption they have, because as you can see on our screen right now, they're able to strap the legs in. So there's absolutely no mobility at all, and nothing can come loose.
Well, they want to be sure when they take him in. I would imagine there have been injuries in the past where three guys trying to court the guy off the field have aggravated it greatly. And this, of course, immobilizes W.C. Nix III. There you see the stats on the game. 10-0 Texas with 3:32 to go in the first half of play. It's a fourth down. Becker will be in the punt. Metcalf back. He'll get it about the 43-yard line or so. Well, maybe not. He has to come up and pick it up. There's a flag down, a second flag down, and
they got Brockman for roughing the kicker, I believe, back here.
But unfortunately, back on the other end, we may have a clip. Let us see. Two flags down in the area. You see them both on the screen, and one way back on the 8-yard line. Metcalf again had trouble handling it. Jim Wacker's going to help officiate. No, he just wants to talk to one of his players. And again, the officials have a comment. There it is. Roughing the kicker. And a second penalty was also against... well, wait a minute. Here we go.
Now, you got to protect that kicker. Wacker's trying to get the explanation right now.
He might have called
1-2 two-step kick, and they run into the kicker. No question about that. No fake job at all.
I'm just concerned why, I'm just a little puzzled why Jim Wacker is as upset on the far side as he seemed to be.
See, Wacker's probably saying this
personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense, violation of the 2-yard zone off.
That's why. They offset. They got down too close to the receiver, Metcalf. And so Metcalf will get to return another one. Takes it at the 40. The 50. The 45. Down to the 40 in TCU territory. Metcalf showing the shiftiness that is in the genes. David Spradlin making the tackle.
You know, his father, Terry, still holds the NFL single-season combined rushing, receiving, and pass reception yardage. This kid, we're not trying to put the kids to death, will be an All-American football player by the time he leaves the 40 acres.
Line of scrimmage is the 40.
So you'll see Texas put the ball in play, already leading 10-0 with 3 minutes and 6 seconds to go in the first half. At halftime, we'll have a conversation with Charles Hunter, the outstanding young tailback with Texas. We'll also see the UT band review the first half. And Get y'all set for second half of play. There's the big guy, Edwin Simmons, as he goes off the right side, down inside the 35 to about the 33. Pickup of maybe 7. Scott Harris, who was a lightly regarded and lightly recruited player out of Carrollton, made the stop. Moved into a starting linebacker spot for TCU. Ball spotted on the 34.
The thing about Edwin Simmons, he's got the speed and the body lean of an Eric Dickerson, and he's got the strength of an Earl Campbell.
And there was a flag thrown finally on the TCU bench.
Now, it looks like it's on Wacker for being a bit too vociferous. But last week, the University of Houston defensive players are just talking to themselves. The way Simmons came right up and made collision after collision.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense.
All right, first down for Texas. The ball finally is put down inside the 20 at the 19.
Be interesting to see if Wacker runs that 5-2. Will blitz somebody at all. Jim's still trying to get an explanation. I still think he's upset about the punt call, Greg.
Yep, I think he has to be because his guys got blocked, and then, of course, the getting too close to the receiver, getting closer than 2 yards away. That's such a tough judgment call anyway.
I want to see how Jim explains this on his coach's show Monday night. He's not inviting Dixon Holman to come over and have biscuits and grits tomorrow morning after church.
Now he charged the timeout to TCU because it took so long.
I mean, he's got his Horned Frog football team that's up in arms over in the sideline. He is fighting for his guys. He says, hey, it's no fun going 0-6, going through what we've gone through. Give us a break.
Well, first down, a ball on the 19. Texas crowd so loud now, I don't know if Stafford's going to be able to hear himself. Oh, he does. The handoff goes inside to the big guy again, Simmons, and Simmons fights forward. He's got tremendous power as he picks up about 5. Well, he should. He's 6'4", 234. That's a power runner. Lewis and Spradlin on the tackle.
Fred Akers says the fact that he came back and played football is the biggest turnaround he's ever seen in his coaching career physically. And those stats are very deceiving. This guy was just given, they threw him in the junk pile, said he'd never play again. But he worked and worked and worked to get himself back.
Second down and 5. Again, Simmons, short of the first down. It'll be a third down. He picked up only a couple that time. Kent Tremmel, the nose guard, led the charge defensively. And it will be a third and about 2. Floyd Terrell also in on that play. Floyd out of Victoria.
Great spot to me to go play action pass and put that ball in the end zone.
Line of scrimmage, the 12-yard line. Third down.
We have a report that McCray has a bruised shoulder. He may return to the game. McCray, the Texas tight end. 3rd and 3. A keep by Stafford, and he's going to be short of the first down, but it's 4th and, again, another one of those no-problem calls on 4th down at about a yard. Stopped by the center of the defensive unit. Stafford wants a timeout with exactly 1 minute, now 59 seconds remaining.
Still thought, Greg, that was a great spot for play action with a big kid number 33, Simmons, in the backfield. Everybody's looking for the run. You can take that ball and go up on top. Fred Akers, who simply does not get enough credit for the tremendous job he's done. All he did was walk in and fill the shoes of one of the real legends in college football, in Darrell Royal.
He is going for his 90th win overall and 80th at Texas today. 47 years old. Arkansas is where he, of course, played his football. Was a student assistant at Arkansas. Was an assistant at Port Arthur High School. Jefferson was the head coach at Edinburgh High and also in Lubbock. 9-year assistant with Texas, 2-year head coach at Wyoming, and now is in his 9th year at Texas. So he has certainly been part of this program. Under Gerald Royal, part of a couple of national championship teams as an assistant coach.
Helped develop the wishbone with Gerald Royal. And I'll tell you, he's a really funny guy, an intense competitor. You should see him when he's away from the TV cameras and he's got to worry about the university image. A very fierce competitor, a man who wants to win, and a guy with an excellent sense of humor.
They're running, they got 10 seconds left on the play clock, and they're going to have to hustle to get this play off on 4th down. They'll make it, though. 3, 2, they got it. Simmons, first down, and he spun down, but the ball knocked loose, and was it the ball? Yes, he was down before the ball came loose. Now, I said first down. That's going to be very close, actually. The knee touched just at about a little bit before the marker, and of course, depending on where the ball was being carried, we'll see how it's spotted.
Caution to the wind with the big body of the kid from Hawkins, Texas. Simmons goes airborne here. Almost looked like PKA kick karate the way he came down with his left foot.
First down as he just made it. Rick Rugeley was the man who made the hit.
First and goal.
First and goal for Texas. The clock running with 40 seconds. So this will be an interesting setup here. They got time, of course. They're going to be inside 30 when they get the play away. Simmons to the 5, 4, 3, and he stopped there with 22 seconds and the clock running.
You can see the incredible strength of Edwin Simmons. Garland Wittles, a strong kid, the cornerback, comes up and makes the force, and he just went along for the ride like a day at the rodeo.
Timeout with 19 seconds left for Texas. I think you saw, I didn't catch the number checking the scoreboard, but you saw how violent the game can be. One of the TCU players had a whole bunch of blood on the back of his shirt. Now Texas with 19 seconds left, leading 10-0 in the first half. Has the ball on the 3. Simmons, 6 rushes, 35 yards so far. He has only played in the second quarter.
Again, Edwin Simmons pointing to the Baylor and A&M games. Getting this kid's confidence back, Greg, was a real big thing for the coaching staff. As I said, they kind of threw him on the physically unable to perform junk pile until he made that dramatic comeback. 3-leg operations and a right leg shorter than the left.
Simmons, he's got to go wide. They've got that one diagnosed. The clock is running.
Spradlin again.
Spradlin has been the star defensive player.
Hey.
It's still ticking, and we're waiting for the moment. Are they out of timeouts? They apparently are, because they're not going to be able to stop the clock. That's it. Well, there's a flag thrown, but I think it was an illegal procedure, and it isn't going to matter, because I believe it was against the Texas team. Let's wait and see here. Texas had run out of timeouts. They could not call one. And they had no time to get that play off. The key was the TCU defense, and you see some exuberantly happy players leaving the field right now. TCU, you'd think, had just taken about a 10-point half.